Hi guys and welcome back. I'm Jogger8000 and in today's episode we're going to be talking about what cards we want to see come from Clash of Clans to Clash Royale, and that is the Bowler, the Skeleton spell, the Haste spell and the Earthquake spell. Okay, so first we're going to go work our way down the list and just talk a bit about it, and I want to hear your opinions whether you want to see these cards or other cards come into Clash Royale. So first up, the Bowler. Now I personally think it's going to be a bit like the Royal Giant. It's going to sit back on the bridge and throw balls or bowling balls, whatever you want to call it, to the opposite tower. Now I think if Barbarians are coming at it, I reckon it's going to be a bit like the Wizard. I reckon the ball's going to do splash damage. I reckon with 1 or 2 hits it'll take out them Barbarians, and I also think it will cost less elixir than the Royal Giant. So obviously I think it will cost about 4 or 5 elixir. So I think it could potentially be a really good card. Now next up is the Skeleton spell. I don't know if you guys have seen this from Clash of Clans, but I think this could be a really good card. I think it will be cost the same amount as a poison spell. I think it'll work very similar to a poison spell. Obviously it won't attack air troops. And I think if you stuck it down on like buildings or a tower, I reckon like just skeletons would just constantly spawn while the spell's there. So I think it'd be more like a trap spell, like you stick it down like the poison, and anything what comes into that vicinity of that spell, skeletons will appear and attack whatever is in that area. And I think this could be a really great card, especially against them spawner decks. You could just stick them down and skeletons will constantly spawn in that area and destroy whatever's there. I think it could be really great. So this next one is the Haste spell. Now I think it's going to be very similar to the Rage spell. From this knowledge is from Clash of Clans. Now in Clash of Clans it does take up less room than the Rage spell, so I think it'll cost less elixir than the Rage spell in Clash Royale. The Rage spell is currently at 3 elixir. I think this card could cost 2. I think it could be brilliant if you're using a balloon or a hog rider, anything like that, just to speed them up to get to that tower. So next up is the Earthquake spell. Now with the Earthquake spell, I've got a few theories on it. Obviously it says in the picture there, weakens walls, buildings and crippling earthquakes. Now I think it could be a bit like the rocket, do major damage to your crown towers. I also think it'd be great against spawner decks and defensive buildings. Obviously if you stuck it down when they've got the buildings on the go, with say a Royal Giant or something, I reckon it could really destroy. I reckon any troops what are in there, like smaller troops like skeletons and goblins and stuff like that, I think they'll get swallowed up by the earthquake and destroyed. Where Barbarians, I think they'll come out of it with a little bit of health left, but not an awful lot. So I'm not too sure on the Earthquake spell, but I'd love to see it in Clash Royale. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you did, leave a like. If you want to see these cards come into Clash Royale, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know guys. If I've left anything out which you'd like to see in Clash Royale and you want me to make a video on it, just let me know, comment below. Subscribe, all that stuff. Have a great day guys, see you later.